Alright, good morning everyone. Welcome to the June 2024 edition of the technical meeting series of the NAPE Young Professionals Body. And today we'll be privileged to learn about basic seismic processing data noise from Mr. George Ijoma Israel, the processing geophysicist at Bulwark TGS. Welcome, sir. So, our agenda for today, the opening remarks and introduction of facilitator, the webinar presentation, the question and answer session. We'll be able to ask the facilitator questions on what he would have taught us by then, the gift vouchers, closing remarks and announcements. Now on to a brief profile of Mr. Ijoma Israel. Mr. George Ijoma Israel is currently working as a seismic processing geophysicist with Bulwark TGS. He has over 8 years of experience in seismic data processing and has contributed to the success of several processing streamer and ocean bottom node OBM projects in Nigeria. He holds a Bachelor of Engineering degree in Petroleum Engineering from the London South Bank University, London, United Kingdom in 2011, and in the year 2012, he obtained a Master's of Science in Petroleum Engineering from the same university. Mr. George is proficient in the use of Linux, seismic data processing proprietary software, among others. He co-authored a paper published in NAPE 2023 titled Improving Fault Shadow and Absorption Effects in a Heavily Faulted Overburden with Reflection, Full Waveform Inversion, FWI, and Q Migration, Shallow Water Ocean Bottom Node Case Study. Good morning, Mr. George. I don't know if you can hear me, sir.
Good morning, Samuel. Yes, I can hear you.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for joining us today. The floor is yours now, sir.
Okay, thank you so much.
So,
All right, I'll just let me on my video so that my fellow professionals can see my face. Please, can you confirm if you can see my face?
No, we can't see you.
Please, Roromi, can you please off your video? Or you Roromi, something like that.
Yes, I've turned it off.
Okay, thank you, sir.
But I'm not able to see.
Yes, Mr. George, we can't still see your video yet.
Yeah, I'm trying to. And, I don't know why my face is not showing. Okay, the video is on here, but I don't know why it's not showing my face.
all right, sir. No problem. If the video is not coming on, you can please just share your screen and let's go on with the technical session, sir.
Okay, maybe to come up or something, but I've switched it on and okay. Let's not waste our time. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Summer, for the introduction. I greet everyone here, the young professionals. I welcome you all to this great presentation. It's my opportunity to speak to you all for the first time. We are all young professionals, so let's just relax, and it's gonna be a journey. I've identified myself with YP, and by the special grace of God, this is gonna be the beginning of our learning together. I will learn from you all. You also learn from me. That is how we will progress. Okay, so let me just share my screen now. Please confirm if you can see my slide.
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay. I don't know why this camera is not on.
So you might want to check your camera lead if in case it's closed or something.
Yeah,
Yes, we can see
let
you.
me think. Let me see, because the HDMI cord in my laptop is stop sharing. So,
Mr. Wasim Mohammed, can you please put off your camera? Thank you very much.
sorry, I didn't get that.
That was not for you, sir. Mr. Wasim Mohammed, can you please put off your camera?
What's wrong? This my camera. I did the presentation yesterday and it worked perfectly well. Yeah, the camera is on, but it's not. Guys, I'm showing dark here, so it's not. You guys can see my face. Everything is
Not in
okay.
my group with this. This one is another meeting. See my whole group.
Okay. Oh yeah, Samuel, can we go on? Let's.
Yes, sir, we can. Please share your
You see
screen.
an
Mr. Wasim
Yeah.
Mohammed, please put off your mic and your
where they
camera.
work
Please.
on this.
Let me share my. So let me just go on. Okay. Confirm if you can see my slide, please.
Yes, sir, we can.
Yes, sir, we can see it.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. So this is the technical meeting series June 2024. Basic seismic processing. So we'll be looking at the data noise for today. Then subsequent presentations will take our time to meticulously look at how we can effectively attenuate noise from seismic data. But today we'll look at various kinds of noise we encounter in seismic data in the course of the projects we do here in Nigeria and every other part of the world. So this is the introduction. It contents. So looking at it, we'll look at the introduction, then seismic workflow, reflection theory, noise and types of noise, and we'll conclude today. Okay, this is the introduction. The domain of this presentation is to identify the basic various seismic data noise, particularly seen in touch streamer and offshore bottom seismic OBN and OBC acquired data. Therefore, an OBN data, the dominant noise is usually shear noise, though it's not covered in today's presentation. The noisy data displayed in this presentation is limited to two streamer acquired data only, and they're similar to the ones I've encountered in different processing projects I've worked on. By the special grace of God, I have been in the projects, where I've worked with IOCs supervised by NMPC, which is the governing body of Nigerian oil industry. So yeah, I've gotten some good experience when it comes to the processing business. So this is the seismic workflow. I'm meant to understand that the YP professional is made up of students and graduates and experienced people in the industry. So we have to take it bit by bit so that the learning curve will progress gradually. So looking at the seismic workflow, now this is what we do in the seismic industry, from survey design to interpretation. In survey design, this is where we design the survey. This is where the management, they come together, they carry out various studies that we want to acquire a seismic survey. This area, we're interested in this part of the geology. Want to explore to see how if we can find oil and gas, which is the ultimate objective of the oil industry, because that is where the money is. So when the survey design has been perfected, the acquisition is being carried out. Acquisition is usually the foundation, the beginning of this processing business, of the seismic business. For some of us who are in the processing company, we wish that it would have been better for us to start from the acquisition side of the business, because in the acquisition, that is where you learn how data has been acquired, or the technicalities, everything you need to know about the seismic, the data you'll be processing in the processing company. You will learn it in the acquisition chain. So when you finish sorry. Hello, sorry. Can you still see my slide? Looks like the internet is. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can see your slide and we can
Yes,
hear
I
you.
can hear you.
Yes,
That's
yes,
clear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can't see my slide. Okay. Right. It looks like the internet. Let me see what's going on. Strong. Okay. Yeah, I've just reshared. Can you see the slide now?
Yes, sir, we can.
All right. Thank you. So after acquiring the data, we progress. The data is being given to a processing company, just like I work in Bulwark TGS. So we take the data from the client in agreement with the governing body, NMPC, as the case may be. So we take on the data, or for like those of us in Nigeria here, the companies in Nigeria, either the data will come from either Shell, come from Total, will come from ExxonMobil, come from Chevron, and as the case may be. So once, or Seplat, or yeah, we also have indigenous companies as well. So once the data is being given to us to process, then we take it on from there. Then after processing, then interpretation is being done on it. But we are interested here now, this is where we are, which is the processing line of business. So in processing, we have the pre-processing and imaging. Yeah, before we go straight into, I want to take my time to go to brief you on how we arrive at noise. So here in processing, we have the pre-processing and the imaging as the processing. Sorry, I'm
We
getting
can
a
hear
feedback.
feedback from yes.
Please, if you're not speaking, can you just off your mic? All right. Yeah, I think it's okay now. Like when I was employed, I started off as an imager. Imaging is basically the migration and velocity model building and all that. So before I joined signal processing, which is the foundation of processing business actually. If you know how to process your data by removing all the noise, the multiple and all that, then before you go on to migration. So once you're done, from here now, the beginning of the pre-processing is actually data loading. As at 3 days ago, I just wish that we would have started from here, which is data loading. I don't know if you have had presentations on data loading, which is the foundation of the seismic processing business. When we receive data, what we actually do with the data, how we load it into the system. And after loading into the system, you do your initial QCs on the data. Then once you load, you do your geometry QC, then your navigation QC. Actually, then some data we get from the companies to go through what they call the NAPE. They've been NAPE. So some also, if they are not NAPE, so we do the navigation and we QC it with agreement with the client, and if they are okay with it, then we go on to do noise attenuation, which is noise removal highlighted in yellow here. So before the noise removal, we will have made sure that anomaly suppression is carried out on the data. We do the spiking, then we key bad traces in the data. So you don't want to progress your data processing with bad traces. No, you don't want to do that. So we take away those bad traces and allow the good traces to progress with. So once we are done with that, then we now carry out what we call the effective noise analysis on the data. Then in that noise analysis, that is the onus of this presentation. I would like to, before I progress to the next stage, I would like to inform us that processing, noise analysis or noise attenuation or noise analysis is carried out in 4 stages of the processing sequence. You have the first noise attenuation, which is here, which is really in this place. That is before removing of multiple from the data. Then once this is done, we also do another noise analysis, denoising, in post deghosting, which is according to how the data behaves. Then we also do another noise denoising in post regularization, which is also data dependent, which is really done in offset planes. And after migration, we also do denoising, that during post-start processes. But for now, this is the initial phase of the noise identification. Seismic reflection. Some of us may have come in contact with this diagram. Number one here is the let's call it the offshore seismic acquisition vessel. Then number two is upgoing wave feed, primary reflection. It's an illustration of how the primary energy of the data is gotten. Then the number three here is direct arrival energy, which we usually don't want in the seismic data. So let's go back to number one. This is how we acquire our data. You have your vessel. This is for marine, actually, for towed streamer. You have your seismic vessel. Then you have your source, the source energy, which is the gun. The seismic vessel, you have your streamer attached to the seismic vessel. The depth of the streamer in most cases is usually 5 meters. You also have some of 7 meters. You also have some of 6 meters. So then you have your buoy here, your buoy. So the purpose of this is to capture a good picture of the subsurface, because we want information about the subsurface. We want to know the geology of the subsurface, so that by the time we process it and clear it for the interpreters to work on, they'll be able to hit oil and gas, which is the objective of the business. So in this reflection theory, number two is upgoing wave feed and primary reflection. What a processor is interested is this diagram here. When the source, when the gun, which is here, is being shot, wave travels down the subsurface, as illustrated with these arrows, so yellow arrow, transmission and reflection. So this is transmitted to the subsurface and is reflected to the receiver. The receiver picks the information. Now, as you can see, this is not this is an OBN receiver or OBC. So normally for a streamer, this receiver should be somewhere on top of this place, like somewhere here. But just for illustration purposes, let me just put this. So the processor is interested in the information, direct information, that the source energy gives to us, having gone through the subsurface and get reflected to the receiver. So when we have this information in the receiver, we find out that there are other energies that are being recorded in the data. For example, let's look at this, the third one, the third image, titled direct arrival energy. When we shoot a gun in the acquisition team, in the acquisition vessel, and we find out that some energy travels straight to the receiver without getting through the subsurface. This energy is being recorded as direct arrival energy. So in the noise analysis or noise identification, we identify the energies that are not primary, and then we call them noise. So having understood this, let me go to, noise and types of noise. What is noise? Now this image, let's look at this image properly. Noise definition: energy other than the primary reflections, as I illustrated in the slides above for number 2. And there are kinds of noise that they appear as coherent noise and random noise. Coherent, what is coherent noise? The non-reflection coherent events and random noise. So I will show you in the couple of slides. But before I show you, let's understand what noise is all about. Seismic feed data always consists of a signal and a noise component. The signal is the part of the data carrying meaningful information, while the noise is the part of data that we are not able to use or that we decide not to use. So D is our data. Let's look at this equation here. S is a signal plus N, which is the coherent noise, plus R, plus, which is random noise. So we have original image here, as shown by my arrow. We have also noisified image here. Down in the middle, we also have original image, we have noisified image. The bottom one as well, original image and also noisified image. So noisified image, what it is telling us is that this image here contains the data, contains the signal, contains coherent noise and also random noise altogether. Now, if we look at the image at the right, look at how clear this image is, and look at how dirty this image is. So what we do in the processing industry is really in noise identification and attenuation. We attenuate, we take the data, and we try as much as possible to clean the data to be clear and with a high resolution. We get rid of those unwanted energies we call noise, whether random or coherent noise. So that is what we do in noise analysis, in noise identification and attenuation. So types of noise. We have coherent noise, as earlier stated, and we also have random noise. Coherent noise, cable stream by parabens at front of cable or tail buoys at the end. We also have seismic interference. We have guided wave. There's energy trapped in water column seen on shallow data. We also have propeller noise. In random noise, we have sway noise, we have muldrow, we have linear noise, we have debris noise, shark bites, spiking traces, which is caused by poor receiver connectivity. All this noise can be classified as either background noise, source-generated noise, and instrument noise. Like I earlier stated, that during acquisition, there are other objects in that acquisition environment. It can be another vessel acquiring seismic survey. It can be a passerby vessel. It can be movement in water bodies. So all those strange elements, when a seismic survey is being acquired, it gets reflected in the data itself. So all these strange equipment or water bodies can form as noise, and which can be seen in the data. So in a couple of slides, I will show some noise examples so that for us to see how they appear in our data. Sway noise. Sway noise, this is a shot, this is one shot displayed in the seismic survey. So like this data you see here now, this seismic data you see here now is made up of the seismic data itself, which is the original signal, which is the primary reflection we are interested in. It's also made up of the coherent noise, it's made up of the random noise. So when you look at this thing as highlighted here, as shown with red arrows, is pointing to the sway noise in the data. Look at the masking the primaries in the data. So which is the most common type of noise you find in all marine data sets. Sway noise is characterized by high amplitude, low frequency, appears in small groups of adjacent channels. The next noise, which is also sway noise, but here, this is displayed on short gather. Then the next one is displayed on stack, still sway noise on stack. Because in noise analysis, you want to show your noise in different domains. Either you show it in CDP gather, you show it in short gather, you also you display it in stack. Because you need to look at this noise. You can look at the noise in different domains so that when you attenuate it, you also QC your result in those domains. Sorry, I'm just saying. So this is another noise called seismic interference. Seismic interference, what is seismic interference? Is a recording from other acquisition boats in the area on your data. This noise can show up as linear dipping high frequency noise as shown with red arrows, or hyperbolic high frequency noise. This can show up in different orientations depending on other boat acquisition direction relative to ours. So when we QC a data and we see something like this, we know that, oh, this is seismic. This is a seismic interference. It's an interference. It is not, it's a strange energy masking the primary reflection of the data. Another one you will see or we usually encounter during our processing is debris or shark bites. So this is a short gather. This is how a debris shark bite, this is how it looks like. Maybe a shark biting one of the receiver cables or obstructing it. So the energy records it in this form. So you can see it's a kind of a high frequency, low amplitude anomaly on your data, somewhat hyperbolic appearance. The next is power fault noise. This is usually the electrical kind of generated noise. So look at the short gather as well as in the area highlighted with red box. So this is how power fault noise shows on your gathers. This is electrical noise. We have another form called electrical noise. Then there are other noise as well. You see that it's a kind of a high signal, like a form of like a horizontal signal on your gather. So when you see something like this, you know that it is electrical noise. So many kinds of noise we usually encounter, like spikes, mudrow, like shale noise, which is for an OBN survey, which is not I did not cover them here in this presentation. Another one is guided wave noise. Guided wave is wave trapped within the water layer, travel in the horizontal direction between air and sea floor. Inflection angles of these waves are overcritical. Okay, let's look at the diagram on top here now. So this is the mean sea level, which is the top of the ocean. And this is the bottom. This is the water bottom. This is the red is the water bottom, while the blue line is the top of the ocean, the sea level. Guided wave noise is usually occurs in this region, the region between the top of the main sea water. It can also occur just a little bit below the water bottom area here, but usually water column kind of noise as seen on your gathers. So this is a cone of guided wave energy. This is how it appears on your gathers. It is called guided wave. So in noise analysis, noise identification, and also attenuation, we QC them properly and attenuate it using the attenuation algorithm or the transform to attenuate this noise. We'll get rid of it because you have to get rid of them, because if you don't get rid of them, it will spoil your processing job. Because as you progress, you need to clean your data gradually before you get to migration. So this is how guided wave noise appears on the data. So in the next one is conclusion. We have various kinds of noise that I have just showed just a few. So just for just to begin this presentation with my fellow professionals. So having identified some basic coherent and random noise in seismic processing data, progress can be made towards strategic data and client-driven processing flows parameterization for effective noise attenuation or reduction. This is very important because random and coherent noise and other anomalies are not friendly with migration processes. What this is talking about is you need, as a processor, your job is to effectively attenuate random noise and coherent noise from your data before you get to migration. Because if you get to migrate the data with noise in the data, it will spoil your job. What you see is a migrated data with so many artifacts and smileys in your data. You don't even want to do that. The processing job business is an expensive business. So you effectively attenuate, remove your noise, identify the noise first, then attenuate them. Then before you move on to deghosting, before you move on to demultiple and post-demultiple denoising, regularization, and post-regularization processes. So the next step after noise identification and proper QC, because when we do noise identification, we also work with the clients, the IOC that gave us the data. As we are QCing, we are showing them, okay, this is what we saw in the data. This is what we are saying in the data. Okay, and we agree on the, okay, this is the method we want to use to attenuate this noise. We attenuate them one after the other until the client is happy and say, okay, we are happy with this result. Then you can move to the next phase. So the next phase of noise analysis after identification is attenuation, which is removal of unwanted signal from the data while preserving primary reflection and diffraction signal. Amplitude, phase, and frequency of your data need not to be touched. You need to preserve them optimally as possible. So thank you so much. I appreciate you listening to me. So I don't know if there's anyone that has any observation or any question for me. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello?
So over
I
to
have a
you,
question,
Mr.
sir.
Samuel. Yeah. All right.
My hand is up. I have a question, sir.
Okay. Okay. Let me just stop sharing so that we can go into you can go to question and answer section. Okay.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. George. We really appreciate sharing from your expanse of knowledge. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. So,
Thank you.
proceeding to the question and answer session, Mr. Uche Chuku, you have the floor. What's your question?
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. So I have a question. I want to know how can you, in a gather, how can you identify the types of noise, especially in the especially in the land setting? How do you identify a ground roll, a reflection, and also what domain? How do you know the domain you are supposed to move or remove these noises from?
Okay. Okay. I've not processed the land data. It's okay. But I've worked on. I'm not in the.
Okay.
I'm not in the land. Yeah, I'm not in the land section. But I've done. I've done marine. So how to identify? Well, I think there is a general concept in noise identification. Like I can use that to answer your question. So when we have a data, you say how do you identify your data? How you identify the noise in your data? Then when you load your data into your system and you do your NAPE, you do your your initial processes. So you load your data in your software. I don't know this. So different companies, they have different softwares. So when we load your data, we QC the data. It's a meticulous job we do. We take our time. Sometimes we can use some couple of days to do a proper noise identification QC. So we can use it using the software. So you look at the amplitudes and the amplitude bands, split them to amplitude bands, and know that we know that the primary falls within this range, and anything outside this primary, it falls within these different amplitude and frequency. So when we split them like that, you can also have an octave panel to also QC your data. So when we split them like that, we check the amplitudes and frequency, the amplitudes that are anomalously high amplitude that fall outside the expected primary region. So when we look at that, we also know that, okay, when we go into the data and look at either the short domain or the channel domain, then from there, or the CDP domain, from there we'll see the noise. We can also do our RMS amplitude analysis as well on the data. Then we can see that you see it on the RMS map. Then from there, we'll spot it and take it on from there. So does that answer your question?
Okay, I think I'm still concerned about, like, if you see a seismic section, I don't know if it's the right word to use, or a gather. So there are some that I want to know how you identify which of them is a ground rule, which is a reflection, which is a refraction, which is a diffraction. All those, that's what I want to understand. I don't know if you have a seismic
Okay.
gather or section view, so you can show us that.
Okay. A ground rule. Okay. I was supposed to add a ground rule noise on the PowerPoint. Yeah. Well, I was not able to do that because this week I've been very busy. Like, yeah, I didn't want to shift to this presentation. I would have done that, but I said no. Let me not, since we already have a time and fixed for today, so I'll do the presentation for today. So, but yeah, if you have not, if you, I can show you a ground rule noise, but which is not in this presentation, but it's not now. Maybe later on we can show you how it looks like. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
All right, thank you very much, sir, for that. Mr. Emmanuel, you have the floor. Ask your question, please, and please be brief.
Okay, good morning, sir. My name is
Good morning.
Emmanuel.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much for your presentation. Yeah, you mentioned the types of noise, which is the coherent and random noises. So what I really want to know is, what are the steps, or simply put, the method on how to attenuate these noises? And can you maybe list out softwares that you can use to, maybe for startups like us that want to go into this section of geoscience, let's know the kind of software that we can use to attenuate this noise and how to go about them. Thank you.
Okay, software to attenuate the noise, right? If I get you right, and how to go about it.
Yeah, and also the method
Okay.
you use to attenuate
The
them.
method.
Yeah.
Actually, I deliberately limited this presentation to just noise identification. I did actually initially I didn't want to bombard you guys with a whole lot of information, and just after the presentation I am off. Yeah, that's why I just say, okay, let's identify noise today. Then subsequent ones, then we can attenuate. You can see how we can attenuate the noise, and we used to do various transforms in noise attenuation. But for example, I can for software, it depends. Different companies, they have different software. My company will have a different software we use to attenuate noise. So other processing companies, they also have their proprietary software they use in their noise analysis. So for the software, we don't have, there is no one singular software that is used. You understand? So, for example, swell noise. Swell noise can be attenuated using SSA. Can also be attenuated in TAPI or radial transform. We also have a linear noise. We have seismic interference. We have a cable strom or buoy noise can also be attenuated in radial theta, in radial domain. So, like I said, this is a detailed information about this can come in subsequently in my next presentation. Like this, if depending on my my chance and my agreement with the ESCOs of the executives of the YP. So yeah, that can be done. So I don't know.
Okay.
Does that answer your question? Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Victor, you have the floor. You have the question.
Okay. Thank you very much for this section, sir. My question is just basically on sir, can refraction be regarded as a noise too, since we only need the reflection signal? Can refraction be regarded as a noise? And again, sir, how long does this processing takes place from the beginning to the end? How long does it take, like the duration? Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. Processing. Well, it depends on the contracts, and it depends on the how dense the data is. I've worked on a project like the project I finished last year that lasted for about 12 months because the data was so dense. So as what I mean, so dense that you have to that we needed such amount of time to come up with a good processed data with high resolution. So some can take 6 months. Less dense data can take 6 months. Some can take 8 months. Some can also take less than 6 months, 5 months. So it depends. It all depends. So sometimes because it also depends on the client. The client can say, okay, we want to make use of this data as urgent as possible. How soon can you give it to us? So it's left for the processing company to dedicate as much resources as possible to ensure that the objective of the client is being achieved. So that one answers for the duration of processing contract. So another one you said if a diffraction can be seen as noise, all right? Or is it refraction or diffraction?
Yes, refraction.
Refraction.
Yes, sir.
Refraction, yeah. Refraction. There are stages in the processing that we need the refracted energies as well. So, well, in the area of this noise analysis, the refraction, no, we're not interested in refraction for now. Yeah. So, yeah, we don't need it now. But though for migration purposes, for the new migration tool, for example, we have the FWI full waveform inversion, which uses reflection and refraction energies. Yeah, it is needed when doing velocity model building using full waveform inversion. Yeah, but when you're doing noise analysis, you don't need you're saying we're interested in the noise in the data. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right. Mr. Miletus, please, your question.
Okay, so there is a question here by Julius Adeson, as he said on the charts.
All right, sir. Yeah, I thought you wanted to attend to that last, so you can go on, sir.
Okay. Okay, so thanks for your concise and the presentation. Could you tell us about the similarity between post-hoc and the PSTM seismic data processing or workflow? Okay, which of these noises, number 2 says, which of these noises can truly be the noise? What would you regard as a good signal to noise ratio in processing? See, can I help you? I think ground roll is characterized as low frequency and high amplitude. Okay, it is a typical coherent noise in land. Okay, yeah. So this is thank you for coming in here to answer the question on the land noise. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Julius. Okay, so number 1 question says the disparity between post-stack and the PSTM seismic data processing workflow. Mr. Julius, you're taking us beyond the scope of today's presentation. Okay, is he online or just he just sent a message and got off? Mr. Julius, are you here?
I don't think he's with us, sir.
Okay, he's not with us. Okay. What would I regard as a good signal to noise ratio? A good signal to noise ratio. I don't know how to explain this to you, but we have a way of fixing this using our software. Yeah, good signal to noise ratio. You need a good signal to noise ratio. That is the end of the processing. That is the end of the processing business. You have a data that has good signal to noise ratio. It has, you need to preserve your primary optimally as possible and suppress noise because you don't want noise masking your primary. Yeah. So that is what I would say for number 2. Then for number 1, the dissimilarity between post-stack and the PSTM seismic data processing workflow. PSTM is post-stack time migration. Then post-stack is after migration, you do your post-stack processing, which is you do the final denoising after your migration. After RMO, you do your receiver move out and all that. Once you're done with that, so there are cases whereby you still have some little background noise in your data. So what you need to do is to carry out your post-stack processes and attenuate those background noise to have the final image that is very clean with high resolution that shows the geology, that reveals the geology of the area you're processing very well, which is the end goal of the processing business. That's what your client want to see. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's the answer I'll give to Julius' additional question. So I do have any other question?
Yes, sir, there are 2 more questions in the chat box. The first one says,
okay,
how can, from Alfred Moga, it says, how can one start a career as a data processor in Nigeria?
Okay, how can one start a career as a data processor in Nigeria? Yeah, I think how do I answer this? Yeah, okay. For example, we have a NAPE YP, young professional. We have also a NAP and the junior and the senior body. Every year we also have the conference which comes up in November every year. So I think the NAPE conference is usually an opportunity for professionals to network and reach out to companies, and submit their CVs directly to them so that once there is an employment opportunity and they can be employed, he can be invited for interview, and if you are successful, get employed. So professional platforms are the best ways that one can get into the industry. Yeah, to be honest with you. Yeah, so there can also be cases whereby through recommendation as well. When you know someone gets you recommended, okay, that's ahead by hearing, okay, ahead there is an opening in this company, or can you submit your CV and thereabout. So It's networking. Networking is actually the best way. So that's what I would say. Yeah. And above all, it is God that gives job. Just be prayerful and thank God what you want. Without God, we cannot achieve much in this life. In fact, we can't achieve anything because He's the author and the finisher of it. He owns our life. He owns everything. So He understands tomorrow. He knows tomorrow from today. Yeah, it's not by our power and not by our might, but by the grace that leads us. Yeah, so that's just what I would say.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. There's one more
Yeah.
question from Mr. Meletus. He says, "Good day, sir. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Please, how
Thank you.
one advance on seismic processing? I need to learn and develop myself in this direction."
Okay. How can you advance? Okay, can you repeat that again? Sorry, I was a bit.
All right, he said, "How can one advance on seismic processing? I need to learn and develop myself in this direction."
Okay. Actually, yeah, this is one of the things I found out when I got into the industry. The very big gap between the university and the industry. Yeah, that is a wide gap there. See, it's good to advocate for this bridging of the gap between industry and the academia. So students, experts in the industry need to bring students closer or work with lecturers to ensure that the right information is imparted to the students, so that when students graduate from the university, they are confident of themselves. They know that with the information I've gotten, with what I have achieved, I can go into the industry and just continue from there. Though every company trains their employees, well, that is a level of development you get when you come into the company, go into any company, you can start up very well. I know that some of our universities are also trying now, and things are really changing. So, how to advance in seismic data processing? Is to, after graduation, is to see how you can just enroll for training courses on the seismic data processing, if you're interested in that aspect, and see, although some of these trainings are very expensive, but with gradual processes, gradually, you can plan yourself and see how you can progress gradually until you get into the industry. Yeah. So another thing is just as well is to also have a friend, someone who is also in the industry, who also can also tell you, okay, this is what is obtainable in the business. This is how to do this. This is how to do that. So above all, in all networking, just have people who are into what you want to do. Yeah, it will help you. It will help you so much.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Mr. Ifan, your hand has been raised since. Can you please ask your question?
Yes.
Sorry,
That's
a mistake. Sorry.
Can you?
Okay. Somebody asked a question here. Say, thank you, Mr. George. You did not talk much on the multiples and demultiples. I need more explanation on this. Okay, so, Mr. Oluwa Shegun Babalola. This presentation is not centered on multiples and technique. This is just noise. Yeah, I know multiples is also a classification of noise actually, because it's an energy. But it's an energy that is coherent. I want to attenuate, want to remove from your data. I don't. Yeah, that's another step in processing business, in processing stage rather. So this is just noise. So let us limit ourselves to noise now. So whenever we have the opportunity to talk about multiple and the multiple, then we can bring that on. Yeah. So thank you. I hope that that is what I can say for that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Any other question?
Okay, can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So good morning, everyone. I just wanted to especially thank. My name is Efan Chukwubi, the NAPE UAP chairperson. So I'm just glad that I joined to listen to the presentation. I wanted to say this is one of the most simplified representation, right, of basics of seismic processing. And I want to say thanks especially to George for an expert and a professional delivery of a topic such as this. It's usually very, sometimes tedious to bring things down to basic level when it's easier to teach advanced classes sometimes. Yeah, but bringing it down to element in a way that it's, from first principles, the flow chart, and in a very simplified, in a less tensed atmosphere, and still be able to deliver the key processing steps. I mean, you can tell that people got the message from the questions. I just want to say thank you. Well done. And thanks, Bo, also for allowing you make this presentation, share those examples. It's really priceless, and I'm glad. Thanks to, again, YP for organizing this. Just to add on to what you said, I know there was a question on someone asked a question, how do I improve myself in this skill area? And in addition to what you have said, which you mentioned, find an industry mentor, someone who is in industry to guide you, do all your best. That is one area, like you rightly pointed out, George. There is a gap between the industry and academia, which is part of why, as UAP, University Assistants, part of what we do is to see every opportunity to bridge that gap. Recently, we had a seismic processing short course. It was a 3-day. I'm sure some people here were part of that 3-day school. It was primarily for lecturers and students, it was anchored by Harvest Geo Solutions and then sponsored partly by Total also. And of course, the UAP was also involved. Of course, there's a huge gap. Typically, what we do here is we go online, we go to classes, we learn all the fancy terminologies, the convolution, all the velocity analysis, Dix equation, a bunch of, big languages, big grammar. But the truth is, many a times we are disconnected. I'm talking about students. I'm talking about our schools. There's a lot of disconnect between what is taught in class and the reality, because we learn them in textbooks, but there's no opportunity to actually practice them, really. And it's one level, it's partly a policy issue, because let me give you an example. In some other climes, of course, you school in the UK, data of a certain age, let's say a certain number of years, are put in the public domain. You can get some data if they're after a certain number of years. But in our climb here, it's not the case. There's still a lot of data privacy issues. For you to release one seismic line to show, you have to go through it's a lot of bottlenecks, and it makes it difficult for researchers and students to get data for their project. Wells, seismic, all kinds of data they can. It's even easier to get a Niger Delta data while you're in the UK than from here in Nigeria. So there's a policy issue, and even opportunities for internship and sabbaticals is very tough. We have a lot of students graduating who are eligible for the internship. The companies cannot take them. I work for ExxonMobil. I know the challenge is involved in getting people in, and other companies. So it's a huge issue. And my suggestion would be, in addition to trying your best, I'm responding to that person who asked the question, doing everything that George has suggested. Also, as much as possible, go online, because there are some things there are few free videos online that you can also see. For example, you want to share an example of ground roll, for example. I can tell you, if you Google it, you'll see something on YouTube. Someone out there in Asia has done a video of what a typical, coherent, whatever it is, all those, examples, you will see examples. So find a way to help yourself via online videos. Register for programs like this, lectures like this. Trust me, is the much you can do. And then if you're able to get an internship opportunity in any of the companies, celebrate, because that is priceless. And if you're there, do your best. Other than that, it is tough. To be honest, there's a huge gap. Our schools, people, there's not a lot of data, software, workstations available. It's not enough. That is a challenge. And the companies can't take everybody. That is also a challenge. And the policies You are not there,
Can-
to be honest. So
Yeah.
on all fronts, you realize you have to do your best. So again, thanks, George, and thanks to the YP leadership for putting this together. I really learned listening to you also, I must confess. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ifeanyi. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, thank
Okay.
you, Ifan. You'll be. Thank you very much,
Ifeanyi
sir.
B,
Sir, I think one last question. Someone asked, please, do we need programming skill to be a seismic data processor in the field?
Programming, yeah. Actually, yeah. Okay. This is an important question. To be a successful geophysicist or processing geophysicist, you need to be good in software. Yeah, there are softwares we use and other. So like programming, like Linux operating system, Linux using those commands and all that. Yeah, your computing skills is very important. Very, very important. Is key. Yeah. So please, anything you can do, any programming language you can lay your hands on, we jump at it very as quickly as possible. Just learn it and add in fact be groomed in your community. Because even if you don't get a job as a geophysicist, as a processing geophysicist, you can also navigate your way through the IT industry. But in all, get yourself prepared. Get the IT skills as quickly as much as you can with your geology, geophysics, or petroleum engineering degrees, or physics, as the case may be. Then you are just believe in God, and God will do it for you someday.
All right, so thank you very much. And
Yeah.
guess one more question from Ruke, where said, what is required in seismic processing to eliminate multiple interpretations of seismic data?
Okay, sorry. Can you take that again?
Right. What is required in seismic processing to eliminate multiple interpretations of seismic data?
What is required in seismic processing to eliminate multiple interpretations of seismic data? This question is okay. Is Rukawa, is he an interpreter, or does he have an interpretation experience? Rukawa, are you here? Okay, is he here with us?
Ruka, are you here with
Okay,
us?
he's not.
I don't think so, sir.
Okay, he's not here. Okay, just like I pointed out in the flow charts, in the seismic flow, we have after denoising, we move on to the multiple. The processing, the flow, it can be is data dependent, so it can change depending on the agreement with the client. So you have during the multiple, yeah, you also you identify the multiple energy, which occurs two times below the water bottom. So when you identify the multiple, when you want, there are processes to carry out during to the multiple data. So this I don't know what exactly the angle you're coming from by saying to eliminate multiple interpretations of seismic data. That's why I wanted to find out if he's an interpreter. Yeah, let me know.
All right, so no problem. I think
Yeah.
that's all for now. Thank you very much,
Okay.
sir, for your time. Thank you for the knowledge shared. We appreciate. I'm sure every young professional that has been part of this call has learned something else today, and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you.
Yeah, I appreciate. Thank you, NAPE YP, for giving me the opportunity to share this knowledge. I appreciate. I'm very, very grateful, and yeah, hope to see you all soon. Thank you. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you, sir. All right,
Okay,
now,
sir.
so I'll be handing over to our publicity secretary to continue with, to round up the meeting. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone. Especially I want to thank Mr. George Israel on behalf of the NAPE YP, from the lead herself, Miss Flora Anishobi. I want to appreciate your time for coming to teach us on this seismic data noise. We appreciate the knowledge shared. I also want to appreciate Dr. Ifeanyi Obi. It's an honor to have you on the course, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And just to buttress on some of the things he said, I mean, the internet is a huge platform to leverage on in terms of trying to learn anything at all. I remember when I was doing my master's, depositional environment, all the depositional environment, I remember learning them from Dr. Ifeanyi Obi's YouTube page, where he teaches on some of those sedimentary basics. So I mean, some of us can actually take advantage of some of those kind of platform. And subsequently, I mean, the NAPE YP, the NAPE body itself, they organize series of technical meetings that are also centered on some of this knowledge as well. So you could also take advantage of some of this platform to leverage on your skills. So thank you so much, Dr. Ifeanyi Obi. We are very honored to have you on the call. And Mr. George Israel, thank you once more again. This will be the end of the call for today. But before we go, I just want to quickly remind us of our NAPE dues so for the dues are actually important to help the organization ongoing, and it helps us to actually better take advantage of all of the benefit that NAPE as a body has to offer. So for student members, a simple your annual dues is 2,000 naira. Then for those of us that are just done with NYSC, that finish universities, the annual dues is 12,000 for active and associate members. So please, as much as possible, try to pay your dues, and watch out for the space. And please, it's not always good when we publicize